There are sightings of large, bipedal, ape-like creatures who stalk the forest and wilderness around the world. In North America, it is known as the Bigfoot, or Sasquatch. Southeastern states of the U.S. refer to it as the skunk ape. In Turkish and Kazakh folklore, it is known as the almas. While the Yuran lives in the deep forests of China, the Yeti lives in the cold Himalayan mountains. Even the land down under has their tales of the Yowie. But did you know about the one that lives in northern Ontario? It's known as Old Yellowtop. Cobalt, Ontario. It's where our case today will bring us. Before diving into history, I want to take a second to show the area and current area. Cobalt, Ontario sits around, it's just surrounded by thick forests with only small little communities around it. The closest major city is going here is North Bay. That's about 145.2 kilometers, or about 90.22 miles away. So with so much undeveloped land, it's plausible that a creature could live here with little to no contact. Our case starts off early fall. That's September 1906 in Cobalt, Ontario. Now, cobalt is an area that during this time was just starting to boom with mining in its forefront. Silver ore was in large commodity in the area, bringing cobalt to the fourth highest producer of silver in the world. Now, just a little east of Cobalt, a group of men were tasked with setting up the head frame for the Violet Mine. A head frame is the large structure above a mine shaft. It is used to house the hoisting machinery. While construction was being set up, there were claims of seeing a large man-like creature, only larger, covered in dark hair all over its body, but bright blonde hair on its head. Now, there's not much else we know about this encounter, but there was a large group of men that saw this and reported it to the North Bay Nugget. North Bay Nugget is a newspaper which is actually still in print to this day. The second reported encounter happened July 1923. Two prospectors were out looking for a new area to stake their claim when they had their encounter. I'll read the article from that fateful day. Mr. J.A. Macaulay and Mr. Lorno Wilson claim they have seen the Pre-Cambrian Shield Man while working on their mining claims north and east of the Wet Laufer Mine near Cobalt. This is the second time in 17 years that a hairy ape-like creature named Old Yellowtop, because of a light-colored mane, has been seen in the district. The two prospectors said that they were taking test samples from their claim property when they spotted what looked like a bear picking in a blueberry patch. Mr. Wilson said he threw a stone at the creature. He said it stood up and growled at us and ran away. It sure was like no bear I have ever seen. Its head was kind of yellow and the rest of it was black, like a bear, all covered with hair. Our third reported encounter happened 24 years later in April 1947. A woman and her son were going for a walk along the railroad tracks when they came face to face with Old Yellowtop. Let's read what the Nugget had wrote. Old Yellowtop, the half-man, half-beast that is supposed to be roaming the wilds around the Cobalt mining camp, was supposedly seen again by a woman and her son who lived near Jilly's Depot while they were walking the tracks into Cobalt. The woman did not want her name to be made public. She said she noticed a dark, hairy animal with a light head ambling off the tracks into the bush near Jilly's Lake. She said she did not get a clear look at the thing, but said it walked very much like a man. The sighting is the third such report to be made since 1906 and 1947. A search party was formed to try to find Old Yellowtop. I think it's safe to say that said search party yielded no results. Now this brings us to our fourth and final reported sighting of Old Yellowtop, according to the North Bay Nugget. It did not occur until August 1970. 27 miners on their way to work the graveyard shift at Cobalt Lode could have lost their lives when the bus in which they were riding went out of control and almost plunged down a nearby rock cut. Bus driver Amos Latriel, who had been driving the route for the last 4 months, said a dark form, which walked across the road in front of him, startled him. At first I thought it was a big bear, but then it turned to face the headlights, and I could see some light hair almost down to its shoulders. It couldn't have been a bear. Although no one was hurt, Mr. Latriel said he did not know if he would continue to drive the bus. I've heard of this thing before, but never believed it. Now I'm not so sure. One of the miners at the front of the bus said he caught a brief glimpse of the creature. Larry Cormack said, "It looked like a bear to me at first, but it didn't walk like one. It was kind of all stooped over. Maybe it was a wounded bear. I don't know." Mr. Cormack added that he did not believe that the Pre-Cambrian shield man existed anyway. "My father used to talk about it, but I've seen it up close," he pointed out. After 1970, there have been no more printed reports of Old Yellowtop. Many would say that's where the case ends. But I have an ace up my sleeve. I personally have moved local to the area. And after talking to locals, that's actually how I found out about Old Yellowtop. Now, there's a lot of personal reports from some very distinguished and professionals in the area. And they date right up to like 2019. So, there's still a chance that he's still out there lurking in the woods. And that ends today's video. How do you feel about today's case? Please leave a comment down below. Also, if you know of any other Canadian paranormal stories that I have not done yet, please let me know. I love researching this stuff. If you're new to the channel and like what you see, please think about clicking on that subscribe button. It really helps the channel out. And also like or dislike the video if that's how you're feeling. And with that, I hope to see you in our next video.